In the endless white desert of the Arctic, where the sun barely rises and the wind cuts like knives, a man fights every day, not for glory, not for riches, but simply to survive. His name is Overgård. He has been stranded here for months, maybe years. His beard is thick, his skin cracked from the cold, and his eyes tired but alert. Behind him stands the wreckage of a small airplane half buried in snow. This is his home now, his only connection to the world that once was. Each day is the same. He wakes up before dawn. The wind howls outside, shaking his metal shelter. He puts on layers of frozen clothes, grabs his tools, and steps into the storm. His camp is neat and precise, like a soldier's base. He's drawn a map in the snow, marked locations, and keeps a hand-cranked transmitter that sends out a distress signal in Morse code. Every few hours he repeats the same message: SOS, stranded, coordinates. But no one ever answers. Still, he doesn't stop. He walks to a nearby hole he carved in the ice, lowers a fishing line, and waits. Hours pass. The wind bites, his fingers go numb, but finally, a fish bites. He pulls it out with a faint smile. One more day of food. One more day alive. At night, he eats in silence, marking another line on the wall. Another day survived. The camera pans out to show the vast emptiness around him, the Arctic stretching endlessly, reminding us how small he truly is. He's outside checking his signal tower when he suddenly hears a distant sound. Faint, mechanical, almost impossible to believe. He stops, listens again. A helicopter. He runs to his signal area, grabs a flare, and fires it into the sky. The red light bursts through the gray clouds. He waves frantically, screaming for help. The helicopter lowers. Hope finally arrives. But in the Arctic, hope is fragile. A sudden storm hits. Violent winds toss the helicopter, and before it can stabilize, it crashes into the snow, only a few hundred meters away. Overgård's heart sinks. He runs toward the wreckage, through the storm, screaming, "Hello! Is anyone there?" Inside, he finds two people, the pilot lifeless, and a young woman unconscious, severely injured. Blood covers her face. Her breathing is weak. He pulls her out, drags her across the snow to his camp. It takes every bit of strength he has. He lays her down, cleans her wounds, and gives her what little food he has. For the first time in years, he is not alone. Days pass. The woman drifts between life and death. She never wakes. Overgård tries to feed her, keep her warm, and check her pulse. Sometimes he talks to her, not expecting a reply, but to remember what a human voice sounds like. The cold outside grows harsher. He knows she won't survive here long. Then, one morning, he looks at his map again. There's a station marked, far away, beyond mountains and valleys. Maybe a 2-day walk in good weather. For him, with her condition and a sled, it could take weeks. Still, he decides, staying here means slow death. Moving means a chance. He builds a sled out of metal scraps, ties it together with ropes, wraps the woman in blankets, and starts the long journey. The snow is deep, the wind unrelenting. Each pull of the sled is agony. His face burns from frostbite. The sound of the wind is the only thing that reminds him he's still alive. At night, he sets up a small tent, melts ice for water, and checks the woman's temperature. She's still breathing, weak but alive. The next morning, he continues. He climbs icy slopes, crosses frozen lakes, and faces storms so strong they nearly blow him away. Yet he keeps moving forward. One night, while resting near a rocky cliff, he hears a sound, heavy steps in the snow. He turns slowly and sees it, a polar bear. The massive creature sniffs the air, then starts walking toward them. Overgård's heart races. He grabs a flare and fires it, lighting the night red. The bear roars and charges. He screams, throwing another flare. The light distracts it long enough for him to drag the sled behind the rocks. The bear disappears into the dark, but he knows it's still out there. Sleep is impossible. The storm howls and he sits awake, holding his flare gun, ready for anything. Days later, exhaustion hits. His supplies are almost gone. The woman's condition worsens. He tries to feed her, but she doesn't respond. Then, while crossing an icy field, the ground cracks beneath him. He falls into a freezing pit of water. He struggles to climb out, gasping as the cold pierces his body like knives. Somehow, he drags himself out, shivering, shaking, nearly unconscious. He collapses beside the sled, whispering, I can't do this anymore." For a long time, he lies there, staring at the endless white. But then he looks at the woman, helpless, barely alive, and finds a reason to move again. He stands, trembling, and says softly, "You're not dying here." Not yet. He reaches a mountain pass, steep, dangerous, and endless. Every step feels like his last. Snow whips against his face. His body shakes uncontrollably. The sled keeps sliding back, but he pulls harder, yelling in pain and frustration. Halfway up, he slips and tumbles down several feet. His leg is injured, but he keeps crawling upward 1 inch at a time. Finally, he reaches the top, a breathtaking view of the Arctic below, silent and deadly. He collapses beside the woman, breathing heavily. By now, he's weak, starving, and freezing. The woman's breathing slows. He knows this might be the end. He lies beside her, holding her hand, whispering, "I tried. I really tried." He looks at the sky one last time, gray and endless. But then, a sound, soft, distant, familiar, a helicopter. He forces himself up, waving a red piece of fabric. He screams with everything he has left, "Here! Over here!" The helicopter circles. He collapses again, tears freezing on his face. As rescuers land beside him, he smiles faintly. The camera zooms out, the vast white wilderness swallowing everything except the small flicker of human hope that refused to die. In a world where nature shows no mercy, one man's strength and compassion became his greatest weapons. Overgård didn't just survive the Arctic. He conquered it, not with power, but with purpose. Sometimes survival isn't about saving yourself, it's about saving someone else. If you like this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible survival.